Hello tennis fans, and welcome to another edition of Tennis at Home. Today's topic, poaching. Now, whenever I bring this subject up, I always get an adverse reaction and a little bit of resistance when we're trying to get our students to move and intercept the ball. And some of the things that I hear are, number one, Chris, I'm afraid to make a mistake. The second thing that I hear is, Chris, I'm not very good at volley. So let me just try to dispel some of these myths and to kind of help you gain a little confidence so that when you hit the courts, you feel like you can do an effective job when you are the net player. So, number one, Chris, I'm afraid to make a mistake at the net. Well, in doubles, half of the mistakes that are made are at the baseline and the other half are made at the net. So it's 50-50. However, when the point in doubles ends in a winner, 84% of the time the winner is hit at the net, and only 16% of the time is a winner hit at the baseline. So it's safe to say that hitting winners from the baseline in doubles is a difficult task. If you're going to make a mistake, it's better to make it at the net. Now, if you find yourself missing volleys at the net and you take a look back and your partner's rolling their eyes over and over again when you miss a volley at the net, find a new partner. Secondly, Chris, I can't volley very well. That's okay. In our next segment, I'm going to show you some of the reads that you can make to find a user-friendly ball to intercept. And I'm going to show you exactly where you want to be hitting these shots once you get in position to hit your poach. Stay tuned. Now, when we're talking about poaching in doubles, we're really talking about three archetypes of the poach. The first one is called a command or signal poach. This is where you're going to turn around and you're either going to signal with your hands or you're going to confer with your partner at the baseline prior to the point starting that you're going to poach. So this is done prior to the ball being struck in tennis. The other type of poach is a reactionary poach. A reactionary poach is done when you see your opponent hitting a ball, it's come off their strings, you read that it's a weak, easy ball, and you move to the center of the net strap and you try for a put away. And the third type is what's known as an anticipatory poach. And this is where reading skills and learning what markers or indicators to look for is going to be really helpful. So, here we go. So when I'm watching recreational doubles, I see a lot of balls whizzing by the net player's eyebrows on the way to the baseline. So what I want to help you with today is improving your anticipatory poach, which I think is going to make the biggest difference in your doubles game. To anticipate a ball properly prior to your opponent hitting it, you're going to need to look for some markers and indicators, as I mentioned before. We're going to use what's called PBS, position, body and balance, and strike zone. Let me begin with P, positioning. What you're looking for in this particular segment is you're looking to see if your opponent is out of position in the court. Perhaps your partner has hit a deep ball and now you see the baseline player on the other side moving back towards the curtain. You may see a great cross-court ball or a great out-wide serve pulling your opponent off the court outside of the doubles alley. This is a great time to move into what I call the center window, an area very close to the center strap, because when your opponent gets in trouble, they're going to try for the safest shot possible. They're going to go for what I call the parachute. And the parachute is usually a ball that's struck and crosses through the center window. Positioning is number one. So, number two is body and balance. Look to see if your opponent is off balance. Are their shoulders tipped over? Are they falling back or reaching forward? When an opponent is off balance, they're going to have trouble putting a lot of pace on their ball, and they're going to be limited to their accuracy. So this is another really, really great time to look to move into the center window. Thirdly, we're looking for the strike zone. When a ball is out of your opponent's strike zone, either very, very high or very, very, very low, this is another great time to poach. Again, your opponent isn't going to be able to put a lot of juice on their shot. You're usually going to get a slower shot coming cross court, and sometimes just simply by moving to the center window, you're going to force your opponent to change direction, and instead of going for the safe shot through the middle of the court, you might force them into the riskier, more low percentage shot, which is hit down the line. So by using PBS, you can improve your anticipatory and reading skills to garner some mistakes through the middle of the court. Now, when you do get a ball in the middle of the court, you're going to want to hit that ball in between your opponents. This is called the pot of gold. Look for an area through the center of the court, splitting the two players. The other option is to hit the ball directly at the net player. And this is one of my favorite plays because, number one, you're going to be hitting into a very conservative area of the court, which is right at the net player. And secondly, you are taking away a precious commodity, which is time. When a player doesn't have time to hit the ball, they're usually going to hit a mistake. So hitting the ball at the hot seat player, the player closest to you, is another great option. That wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Until I see you next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the court very, very soon. Bye-bye.